Shalom lekulam, tzorayim tovim. My name is Oren Katzen. I'm a marketing director with Boeing Business Jets, BBJ, based here in Israel. It's a pleasure to be speaking at a business aviation conference so close to home. I'd like to thank Gal and Ron, JetSetter team, for not only putting on this event, but also continuing to promote business aviation here locally. This is our first Tel Aviv Business Aviation Conference for Boeing Business Jets, but I think you'll all agree this is more than just an Israeli conference. This is a regional conference, and certainly the international attendance supports that. But Boeing Business Jets is no stranger to this region. This is a map of all BBJ flights in the last 3 years that we've tracked, and you can see that we go just about everywhere. Short-haul missions, long-haul missions, connecting across continents in just about every segment of business aviation, from VIP to government and charter. But when we focus in on our flights in and out of the Middle East, so aircraft, BBJs that either departed and or arrived in the Middle East, it accounts for a whopping 34% of the flights. This is very different from the rest of business aviation, which is so heavily focused in North America. Our customers are more broadly distributed, and certainly a big weighting here in this region. So let's take a moment not to talk about our products, but about the business aviation in this region, because it's unique. It's unlike North America. It's unlike Europe. So the Middle East, broadly speaking, accounts for only about 2.5% of all business jets worldwide. Seems like a small and almost insignificant number. But there is a big power in this region. And I speak Middle East broadly, including some countries in North Africa as well, because so many of these aircraft are in the large and BBJ category aircraft. So a major preference here for big jets like BBJs and the other large ultra-long range aircraft, which is staggering, right? It pulls weight. Obviously, these are the aircraft we'd all love to support. They're the most expensive to purchase, the most capable, most luxurious as well. And the same is true for BBJs. There we go. So this shows where our aircraft are located in this region. So 29% of our fleet is here locally. Second and third largest countries for BBJ placements are now just a few hours flight away: Dubai, Saudi Arabia, are only behind the US as far as where we've placed BBJs, and that's, of course, significant to our business. You'll notice a glaring hole in this map for us, as we don't have any aircraft here in Israel locally yet, but here we are. And we think we've placed a large and significant team, both for sales, but also to support our customers locally here and in Dubai and elsewhere in the region, to maintain our market share and grow it, of course. I'll also mention not just the number of aircraft, but the first and second largest operators of BBJ are also nearby, thankfully now only a 2 or 3 hour flight away. So critical region for us, but also for the business, because there are so many large aircraft here. Why is that? Why are there so many large aircraft? Why is there a preference for these large cabin aircraft in the Middle East? And we think it comes down to 4 primary reasons. So I'll start from the top here, and I've only put 5 stars, even though maybe 7 stars would be more appropriate. The people in the region who can afford to fly privately are accustomed to a level of service, a level of comfort that is the highest possible. They may also value privacy more than any other customer in the world, right? Those who can afford to fly privately want to do it at the highest possible level. And they also travel in large groups. I think we see this here in Israel, but we certainly see it in the Arab world that's near us. Large families traveling together, staff, perhaps security, and they all want to travel on the same airplane. And that drives inherently a need for a large cabin aircraft. Geography. So I think it's about 2/3 of the world is within an 8-hour flight from Dubai. That's a staggering number. You know, airlines like Emirates and their competitors take advantage of that. It's also true for us, both here in Israel, but also in business aviation. 6 to 8 hours away from this region, you're covering all of Europe, a good bit of Asia, all of Africa. Now, that doesn't seem like a particularly long flight, but relative to the US, where 3 hours covers up and down both coasts, there is a tendency towards longer missions from here to the US, perhaps. So that drives a need for a larger, more capable, longer range aircraft. And of course, with that, if you're going to spend 12 hours in an airplane flying a BBJ from here to Tel Aviv or Miami, which you could do, you want that space. And again, another reason pushing more customers towards a large cabin aircraft here. Finally, in order to purchase a large cabin aircraft, you have to have wealth. And I think we all know that there is tremendous wealth in this region, some of it private, some of it government, some of them both, and maybe we can't really distinguish the two. But I want to put some data behind the numbers on wealth. And I apologize, I guess some of these fonts didn't quite come across so well, but you can certainly match the flags. Here in Israel, we always say, well, we want to, we're little America, or we always copy what happens in the States. So I've included number of millionaires per capita, so millionaires per 10,000, multimillionaires per 100,000, billionaires per 10 million. Doesn't matter. Just trying to normalize it because our population here isn't quite as large as it is in the States. And what you see, without even diving into the numbers one by one, is that there is a tremendous amount of wealth here. Israel, of course, at the top of the list, UAE, Qatar as well. So there is an ability to afford long-range aircraft. There's a need to fly long-range aircraft, and where those meet, you get this success. Now, I hope many of you were able to attend the static showing yesterday at Ben Gurion Airport. And again, I guess I'll read the words, but I think the picture speaks for the words. If you're not in this industry, because I think in the industry we get a little bit desensitized to how wonderful these large cabin aircraft are across all OEMs, and I truly compliment all of our competitors who had aircraft there yesterday. Magnificent airplanes, right? We've upped the level of service and comfort and range and efficiency over the last 20 years, and that's what's driven growth in this business. And this is a market here in the Middle East that demands, as I said before, this type of aircraft. What we offer at BBJ is perhaps an elevated experience. More space with excellent capability, excellent range, efficiency, operating costs, that opens up new ideas. Private rooms with walk-by aisles, queen, king-size beds, showers, and multiple showers, not just one. That's the elevated experience that we offer, and that's been so widely accepted in this region, as I said before. Another unique need, perhaps, in this region is for a majlis, a sitting room. Many of our customers in the Arab world require something like this, and I think pretty much all of the BizJet OEMs can support it in one way or another. But again, space buys you a simply different experience, and something that we're proud to offer to many customers is their ability to custom design the airplane to suit their needs. And at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is transform the flying experience. Now, I'm what you'd call an av geek. I imagine many of us in this room are. When we're on an airplane, we like to know we're on an airplane, but that isn't always the case for our customers. They like the convenience and the time savings of flying privately, but perhaps they want an experience that makes them feel more at home, that doesn't remind them all the time that they're on an airplane. And this is a bedroom aboard one of our customers, BBJ, that's truly beautiful. But if that was your hotel in Tel Aviv, I think you'd be pretty happy too. Although this might be a little bit more expensive, even from Tel Aviv rates. So let's talk about operating costs. I think there's a perception here that I'd like to. One perception I maybe can confirm, and another one a myth I'd like to dispel. Acquisition costs for larger aircraft, acquisition costs go up with larger aircraft. That's no lie. A BBJ is going to cost more than some of its competitive large ultra-long-range airplanes. It's the truth. Operating costs is where things change. As you go from aircraft to aircraft, moving your way up through the categories, as many of our clients do, as they're able to purchase bigger and better airplanes, they see their hourly operating costs go up. But when they step into a BBJ category airplane, the operating costs go down. The trend breaks. And this is a pretty simple story. You're taking a commercial platform, a 737, which I imagine everyone in this room has been on a 737, and you put it in a private use. You take an airplane that's designed for 4,000 hours a year, and then you operate it for 400 hours a year, and what you get is the efficiency of a commercial platform. Lower maintenance costs, longer maintenance intervals, cheaper parts, and more availability as well as reliability. Now, reliability is a key topic to many of our customers in the region, and especially government customers. So by our count, there are 44 wide-body head-of-state aircraft in the region. Let me explicitly define that. Wide-body, I mean by the commercial standards, a 747, 777, A350, A330, very large aircraft that are fully dedicated to head-of-state service, not flying special missions, but flying around the leaders of the nations in this region. That's a staggering number. In North America, there's fewer than 10 of these, right? There's a couple of Air Force One 747s, Mexico, Canada have a few airplanes. In this region, there are 44. There's no region like it. We're very proud of the fact that we have about 3/4 of this market. It's a testament to, I think, the success of our airplanes in all sizes. And again, in addition to these 44, there's smaller aircraft also flying head-of-state service. But again, 3/4 in Boeing's camp, and spread across a number of different nations. So again, our fonts, I guess, were not as we'd hope, but I think the flags speak for themselves. 6 countries that only operate Boeing head-of-state aircraft. There's a tremendous amount of trust placed in us when a government chooses to put their leadership on an aircraft that we've designed, built, and support. The Israelis in this room are probably saying, hey, what are we doing on this map? Yes, there's a Israeli Wing of Zion 767 head-of-state aircraft ready for service, not in service due to political reasons. Regardless, as a company, we take a lot of pride in the fact that Israel has chosen a Boeing aircraft for that mission. A few countries that don't operate our aircraft. A couple of them we unfortunately can't even sell to due to political reasons. And then a number of aircraft down that middle column that operate a mix of our aircraft and the competition. I will say that all 4 of those aircraft, also all 4 of those countries that operate a mix of aircraft, their most recent purchases have been from us. Now, that's a key element of our work at BBJ, is influencing the aviation industry, not just business aviation, but also commercial. When a country chooses to put their top leadership on a Boeing aircraft, especially in the Middle East where these governments have strong control over the airlines, what you get is more sales for Boeing. And you may have heard a couple days ago we announced 120 aircraft ordered by a couple of Saudi Arabian airlines. That all goes together for us. So we've got an outsized impact in an outsized market. With that, thank you very much for your time.